We are going to take a short route off our textbook guidance to use some tools I brought to you at the beginning of this semester from Fred. As economists, we are seated in position to discover what interest rates apply to our decisions. This is the detective part of our persona. We can discover what interest rates have been present in our economy for the past month, quarter, year, decade, or longer. We can step into Fred and look at the Producer Price Index to see what businesses have experienced, and at the Consumer Price Index to find the same for consumers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics collects these data and hundreds of others on a daily basis to release monthly statistics about the performance of various sectors in our economy. It is based on the cost of a standard set of goods and services in two baskets, one for producers and the other for consumers. As the cost of goods in this non-changing basket changes, the index values change. Changes in the index cost represents the purchasing power of the US dollar. We will use that purchasing power to reveal the time value of money. These values are reported monthly in each index. Although these indices are not the sole source of determining when the economy is in recession, they clearly demonstrate how factors are interrelated to explain the performance of things like inflation, recession, and expansion. From my standpoint, I have been most impressed by the people at the BLS, as I have called their Washington, D.C. office to have a specialist actually answer the phone and engage with me in discussions. I have called their regional office in San Francisco to arrange specialists to address industry and college groups. BLS specialists investigate data and provide me with answers. In one interaction, I called to search data on a sector they stopped reporting about in the current month. The response was to refresh the data collection to continue reporting. They were unaware we were actually using those data and adjusted midstream to accommodate the needs of an industry sector. If you own shares of a stock or bond, you will receive payments in the form of dividends or coupons over a number of years. Most people value funds they already have more highly than funds they will receive in the future. Present value is the value in today's dollars of funds to be paid or received in the future. Putting pencil to paper, we discover that investing $1,000 today at a rate of return of 10% for 1 year, put through the future value of a single sum, is worth $1,100 in 1 year. Now, flip that around to assume you're willing to receive $1,100 in 1 year based on your investment of $1,000 today. In this case, you're earning 10% on the funds you have loaned. Economists would say that $1,000 today is equivalent to $1,100 to received 1 year in the future. We can take this exact approach to apply it not just to 1 year of investing, but a series of 1 initial payment plus 4 additional payments. We add each payment placed in time to discover a present value of a terminating annual series. We continue to use the 10% rate of return to see that each annual payment through time is worth less in current terms than the previous. We call this an expression of the time value of money. We have used a 10% interest rate in these examples. It is super simple for this math, but we need to consider different rates based on your personal impatience factors. When you are very impatient for a return on your money, your interest rate for discounting will be high. Conversely, a lower rate of return will explain your patient nature. Now, I introduce you to a strategy you can use to discover what the growth rate of the U.S. economy has been. I can look at the Producer Price Index rate of change within the most recent expansionary phase between January 2002 and December 2007. By selecting the index numbers from the starting and ending points and inserting them into this formula, we calculate what the rate of inflation was during this period. This rate can be calculated between any 2 points along this series, for a few months, several years, or even for decades. Over this 6-year period, the rate of business inflation was 5.64% per year. The same approach can be made while using the Consumer Price Index to discover a representation of the inflation rate of consumers, the average person. Here we find the CPI in January 2000 at 168.8 and the July 2008 CPI of 219.9. Filtering it through your rate calculator, this discount rate is 2.93% per year over this 9.17-year period. The use of inflation and discount rates is very important to understanding the time value of money. At the fundamental level, we consider money in our hands today more valuable than the same amount of money delivered in the future. The longer money delivery is delayed, the lower the present value of that money is. Value is determined both by the time of delay and the rate of decay. In this case, decay is the inflation rate. More to the point, when we are in a general economic growth cycle, an expansionary period, costs will rise each year. This is the reality of inflation. Inflation eats away the value of money. 50 years ago, $100 could buy food for a family of 4 to last a month. Today, one bag of the same groceries costs $100, and a month of food for a family of 4 costs closer to $500 and more. This is the effect of inflation. I use a combination of inflation and discount rate, specific to the investor of consideration, to consider an overall adjustment rate. Although this rate is specific to each investor, I recommend starting with the rate of inflation expected for the near-term period. We just looked at the PPI of 5.64% and we'll use it. Then take half this rate to apply it to your personal discount rate, here at 2.82%. We use these in combination. Creating the overall adjustment rate, we just use a cross-product multiplier of F and R. We want to consider the present value of a single sum, V sub 0, as $1,000 received in 10 years. Our estimate for this rate was 9.17 years, but we can apply this rate to any term, short or long. The present value of $1,000 received in 10 years at this 8.62% adjustment rate is $437. This includes the decay value caused by the expected rate of inflation and the impatience factor of the investor. Consider this. What if the rate of inflation was expected not at 5.64%, but instead at 3%? With the discount rate also reducing to half of the inflation rate, the new adjustment factor would be 4.54%, and that $1,000 in 10 years would be worth $641 today. Notice how the lower adjustment factor increases the discounted value in present-day terms. Try it in reverse. What if inflation is expected to climb to 8%? No, really, give it a spin. You will want to be able to do this for this class and others. You will use it in your personal life and in business. This super fast demonstration of inflation and discount rates has meaning for you. Not only as an entrepreneur or student of business, it applies to your decisions made as a consumer. You might be borrowing money right now to pay for college. You may want to purchase a vehicle. You will be fully engaged in money matters, and you need to be able to discover for yourself your personal time value of money. Your personal rate will change through time. I use the PPI and the CPI to measure what the economy has done in the long-term past and short-term past. I use these rates as a proxy, meaning they are not perfect predictors of what will be inflation, but I can make stronger estimates about the future using these. As I have worked with clients, I have found some people who have strong opinions about what the expected rates of return will be in their markets. I find those who do not follow indices such as these often struggle to release what has been realized in the past. It includes such perceptions of an expected discount rate of 7% seen in the 1970s, when inflation was above 15%. But when we are experiencing 1% inflation we saw from 2010 through 2016, the 7% discount rate is not in line with current realities. The time value of money is not static. Now you have some no-cost tools to assist you when realizing what you're up against. We have looked only at the present value of a single sum, future value of a single sum, and one instance of the present value of a terminating annual series. I made this poster in the 1980s when I first started studying economics and finance in the forest management sector. I have updated it since then and added this dichotomous decision tree framework. Follow the path through each decision point to find the formula that will solve your finance questions. Here, I shows the combination of inflation and discount, the cross multiplier. Experiment with these and find uses for your finance questions, using economic tools to make meaningful projections. These are not on quizzes or exams in this class. They are given to you for your personal edification and bonus. Make it count.